Thank you all for coming. I enjoy these quarterly Officiant meetings, not just because we get to tell you what we're doing, but I really appreciate hearing from you on the issues that you are dealing with or the ideas that you have going forward. And there'll be a time at the end of this one in particular to talk about your ideas and anything that you might want to see over the next 4 years. As you know, this is an elected official position, and I just got reelected, so I know I'm going to be here for 4 years, and so let's start planning. Oh, here it is. And just as a note, it's not on there, I'm sorry. My swearing in is at 11 o'clock, maybe 11:15 this morning here in these same chambers. Anyone that would like to attend is welcome to attend. So did everyone get an agenda? Okay, good. And I just wanted to make a note, we had one of our long-term pastors pass away this last month, and we just wanted to appreciate all the service that he did. At the funeral, they were saying that he did like 77,000 marriages. I'm not sure if I believe that's true, but if they say it's true, it's true. We don't really have a record that way. As you know, we're doing a lot more to keep track of you personally now, so we will have better records on that, but obviously he was a long-term officiant. He was a retired minister, and then served for I think 30 years. Let me go on to the next one. Almost 30 years as an officiant. So just appreciate him, and do let me know if someone of importance to the industry is doing something important, or if you would like me to attend or give a certificate of appreciation for a lifetime of service or those kinds of things to people that are key people in the industry. Just a couple Marriage License Bureau updates. So the county is going to do some, Carl knows better about, let Carl talk about this. We're doing some remodeling, and where's your? She's bringing it down for me.
Okay. Okay, hear me okay?
Yeah. Everyone knows Carl Bates, the Marriage License Bureau manager.
Hi. This weekend, we are having a planned outage in the Marriage License Bureau. The county is doing some major upgrades to the network that we run on, and we have a backup plan in place. Actually, we have two, so hopefully we won't get to a point where we can't issue licenses this weekend, but if we do, at the Marriage License Bureau, we have a backup plan over here in this building. So where Ashley's group is, over on the first floor off the rotunda, we will be able to issue licenses from there. So if that happens, we will try to notify everybody via email, but if a couple or anybody shows up at the Marriage License Bureau, we will have staff there to direct them over to this building. Okay, so we can't make any guarantees, but we're doing everything possible to make sure we don't have an interruption of service this weekend at the Marriage License Bureau. But again, if we do, folks would have to come over here to the office here to get a license, and it would just be for this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Okay?
Also, they've been moving around this planned outage, so we think we have high probability that it will be this weekend, but it may not. It may be another time. Yeah. And it's usually weekends because we're one of the few facilities that remains open. So the rest of the county is down. So it's on the weekends so that it has the least impact on county services, but it always has an impact on ours because we're open always. And I think that we talked about this last time, but for anybody here this time that wasn't here last time? Yeah, a few of you. So if you remember at the beginning of the year, we had a couple times when we actually had shut down because we couldn't offer services and we couldn't get the internet up. So we have been working on that, and just give an update on that. So we also are doing because we know that that's bread and butter to you if we can't issue the license and they're expected to come over there and get married in an hour and we can't give them a license, then that really impacts you. So this is a very high priority to us, and we have been working on it, and Carl will give you an update.
Right. So unfortunately, our system doesn't have any type of offline capability, so that if the network or one of the servers goes down, we can't issue licenses effectively. So we're working with our vendor, Harris Recording Solutions, who wrote Acclaim, the system we issue marriage licenses out of. And we had to wait until we could get enough funds to work with them to build in an offline component, which we call business continuity, so we can keep business going. All of that has been funded and approved by the county commission. Harris is working on developing that code for us, and we're expecting it to be in place by April. So things like happening this weekend, regardless if there was a county outage or not, we would still be able to issue marriage licenses without any interruption of service. So I just want to let you know that it has been funded, it is being worked on, and it should be implemented by April. Shouldn't have any more outages like we've encountered over the years. Okay.
And then we did get some funding to do a marriage license bureau remodel. It's going to be on the back end side, our side. Some of our counters are so old and broken that the staff's clothes catch on them and it rips their clothes, and the carpet is really kind of disgusting, and a bunch of those kinds of things. So it shouldn't impact you guys at all. What we're planning on doing is shutting down like 1 through 5? Yeah, and then shutting down 6 through 10. So we do it in phases, but some of it's going to be difficult for them to not do it all out of a piece. So again, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that the remodel doesn't impact you, that we mitigate any effect it has on you and the customer, but there may be some times when we really don't have any choice.
Yeah, most of the work for that will be staged at night. They'll start coming in around 9:30 or 10, and they'll work all through the morning hours. So there will be a couple hours of interruption, but it may limit us to be able to open more than 5 windows at one time. Other than that, we should be able to keep operations going smooth.
Any questions on anything like that? This is like physical things that we're working on. So we usually give you an update on how we're doing for the year. This has not been a great year, so if you've seen a reduction in the number of weddings that you've been doing, it's because there's fewer people coming here. We've been working very hard, as you know, to try to mitigate that, but this is probably the worst year since I've taken office. In October, we were down 148 year over year, and then for the year so far, ending in October, because November's not done yet, we're down almost 4,000. So we may not make 75,000 this year. This isn't something that I really want everybody to talk about, except for how can we do something to, turn this around. And I think that we've been doing a lot, but again, we need everybody to be involved in this effort as well. So we just want you to know about it. This is the reality. Let's move forward and try to, rebuild our lost market share. People are getting married in the U.S. Numbers are up, except for, you guys all know I can't read that far, except for 2013, and they've been going up since 2009, which is a decade. And so there was a 2.2% increase in 2016 over 2017. So the market is there, the numbers are there, but our market share has just been plummeting. At our peak, we were about almost 6% of the US, which is huge, and now we're down to about 3.3. So that's half. We've lost half our market share, which is the problem, which is why it's something that we can actually try to address. So it's not that the numbers aren't there, it's that they're not coming here. They're choosing other locations, not just in the US, but internationally as well. So one of the things that we're doing, and this was requested at one of the Officiants meetings a few years ago, is the vow renewal certificate issued through the Marriage License Bureau. This is not mandatory. If you have something, you're welcome to continue with it, but if your couple wants something that has an official seal on it, then we want to be able to provide that. So we went to the legislature in 2017 and got permission to issue these. It will be the same price as the marriage license, but it will not be an official document and we will not retain it. So if they lose it, they'll have to just come back because we're not going to do all the record keeping because it is not an official document and we don't want anyone to think that it's an official document. So again, they're welcome to come and get it at $77. That also helps fund the aid for domestic violence prevention, which is why we kept the same. That $25 out of every marriage license goes to the Domestic Violence Prevention Fund to the state. In Clark County, it helps fund Safe Nest, Safe House, and the Rape Crisis Center. And so this is another revenue stream for that, especially as our revenue is going down. The revenue for those things is also going down. So hopefully this will help mitigate it. And we encourage you to start marketing it. So we're going to launch it December 3rd. We are going to put out a press release. We think we're going to get some attention for it. And your responsibility, it's very simple. Just fill it out, give it to the couple. You don't have to file it back with us because it's not a legal document. And then let us, help us support the promotional opportunity. So if we do get press on, and we're probably going to try to do it for December 3rd, if you have some couples coming in for a vow renewal on December 3rd, encourage them to come down to the Marriage License Bureau so that we can try to get some press. And here's one of the first couples that, that are getting the certificate and why are they getting it, and help us promote it. So we're going to want your support on that. And reach out to my office and tell everybody else too. Again, one of the reasons we have these meetings, and I know that we have 4,000 officiants, and there's not 4,000 people here, so we really want you to be spreading the accurate word about what we're doing and how you can help. So if anyone has any concerns about the vow renewal certificate, please give us a call. But again, this was something that was requested at one of these meetings 2 or 3 years ago. We got it through the legislature, and now we're starting to implement it. So your requests do have impact. Any questions or concerns or? And I think we have a picture of it, yeah. So this is what it's going to look like. It looks completely different than the marriage certificate. We don't want anyone in any way to be able to forge it or modify it, because that does happen occasionally. We've seen it with some of the vow renewal certificates that you guys issue that people, copy and white out and try to make it look legal. We do not want this to look legal at all. We want it to look fun and something that they can that hang on their wall. Again, it's a very high, we've got a very high quality linen paper to print it on, so it has a really nice heft to it. And we have the Las Vegas Wedding Capital World, our new logo that we're going to be using a lot, and that's part of the certificate too. So has everybody seen the new logo? I don't think we have a big, I love it. So it's just for the Marriage License Bureau. We're going to be using it. We're going to be printing it on some of the envelopes, and we're going to be using it throughout. Anybody that becomes an officiant is going to have our new logo on their officiant papers. So we're very excited about that. Questions, comments? So the promotions that we did in 2018, and some of these we've talked about a number of times, so I'm not going to give you a great deal of information. Valentine's Day, we did the Pop-Up Marriage License Bureau at the airport. That went over really, really well. We got about $15 million worth of press on that one event. Royal Wedding Month and Watch Party was all of May. Hopefully some of you guys got some attention from that. 8/18/18 was huge. I don't know why. Well, we think we do know why. We think 8 was a lucky number. So we don't know if 9/9/19 is going to be the same, but it was huge. We issued, you guys married over 1,000 couples on 8/18/18. So that was great. And then we did a new logo for that, Lucky in Love. So that was printed on their envelopes, and just to make it fun. What we're trying to emphasize again is that Las Vegas is fun. I mean, that's why you come here. We are maybe not the most romantic in the sunset at the beach kind of thing, but we really are the most fun. Las Vegas Marries the Military, we just wrapped that up. We actually still are doing some promotion now that we have images and things like that, and if we're going to do it next year, which we think we will be doing it next year, we can start pushing that out now for publications that have almost a year lead time. So we are doing that. It was sponsored by the Clark County Clerk's Office and the Las Vegas Wedding Chamber of Commerce. We did 4 weddings and 7 vow renewals. 52 vendors offered to help. 25 weddings were available, but because we do it on one day, they have to get in here and they have some restrictions. So it's not like we offer this and then anytime within the year they can get married. They have to come in on that day, which this year was Thursday before Veterans Day weekend. And so the couples that could take advantage of it were the 7 weddings and our 7 vow renewals and 4 weddings. And then that offered $72,000 worth of service, and then we are looking at the publicity dollars. I haven't gotten that back yet, but we do know that it got national press and a lot of local press, which is very good too, because one of the things that we really need to do is, and we've been, I think, successfully doing this, is moving away from the drunken Elvis wedding that you regret the next day that kind of was our brand, and moving to something that's really more realistic about what we actually do and the lovely places that we have and the fun things that we do. So locals have to know that message too. They can't be constantly talking about how tacky Las Vegas weddings are. And I don't think that they are anymore. I think that we are rebranding it locally, which is the most important part, because if your own community isn't promoting your industry, then you can't promote it. So one of the most important things to me has been to make sure that our local community also understands what we really offer. I mean, all of you know that if they're drunk, you don't marry them. We don't issue a marriage license. So it's a great movie. It makes it fun and funny, but it's not reality. And so we really want them to see the wonderful things that we do in Las Vegas. And this is a big part of it. And then again, we had another specific logo that we developed so that we could kind of brand that Las Vegas and military image together. Oh, this is the pop-up, some of the publicity we got at from the airport. And we are going to do it again. Last year, when we did it, that same time frame, there was the Valentine's Day, there was also President's Day weekend, and there was also Chinese New Year. Thank you. I couldn't remember that. This year, there's not all those things together. So it's just President's Day weekend and Valentine's Day together. So we're not going to be out there as long, but I don't think that really is the important part. The important part is being out there. And then we've had a great year of people reaching out to us and I do think it's because of all of the work that we've done over the last 4 years to try to, again, raise attention to what Las Vegas really is and to show that we really are the wedding capital of the world and why we're the wedding capital of the world. And so Say Yes to the Vegas Dress reached out to us almost 2 years ago now, and then they came and shot. We disagree, or we don't necessarily agree. 5 or 6 couples. I thought that they said they did more, but we haven't gotten access to the videos because it really is in the UK and Europe, but there was one online. We will show you in a little bit what we have. We also had a one-time Welsh film company came last week or 2 weeks ago, and their premise is the 500-pound wedding. So what they do is show all these weddings at this specific price point. And this is the first one they did in Las Vegas, but that's great. They came from Welsh. They spoke Welsh. We didn't know what they were talking about, but that's okay. Hopefully it was fun. And then Hitched in Vegas just started filming. They've been, again, here this last month. They want to do a series. They are doing 10 episodes. They already have planned 10 episodes with 2 couples per episode. They're going to be coming out in the spring again and finishing filming, but they got enough to do the pilot to put to their producer, which I think is the same channel. I think it's a TLC in Europe. So I think it's the same channel as Say Yes to the Vegas Dress. And then we are in talks, very slow talks as always, to do something more permanent with Say Yes to the Vegas Dress. So if we reach out to you and you have a goods or service that you would like to connect with these events, let us know or respond, Also, they're often looking for couples. They don't pay the couple and they don't pay for the goods and services. So that's kind of all comped or what they're already paying for. And so if we reach out to you for that, please help us, get in contact with the appropriate couples. And then what we just added, I think I have that on here. We just added, because we are getting more television coverage, we added a special box on our homepage so that couples that might want to be involved in these things know how to apply. So it will be on the marriage license application online, but also just special announcements about anything that's coming up. Okay, now I hope this is right. So this is we'll just show you a little bit about what we got. So can you say yes to the dress? Oops, is there volume?
Emergency. Call David Emanuel now to find an
This is their promo, which I think is very cute.
Two people in love in Vegas. For lights, glamour parties and to put a ring on it. They have the time, the place, the champagne, but nothing to wear. Emergency. Call David Emanuel now to find an outfit. A special Vegas outfit. Not that much Vegas. OMG, shut up, that's gorgeous. Together forever. I do, we do. Congrats, Amazeballs, David does Vegas. Say yes to the Vegas dress only on TLC. Two people in love in Vegas.
Yeah, that's good. I think that's adorable. And one of them did do it at Zumanity, so it almost fits in with what they actually did. But I think it was really cute. And then I think this is a little bit longer. Oh, this was the couple that went to Zumanity. Well, you'll see.
I was looking for a place that was collaborative and open and diverse, but most importantly, gave me.
Good morning. How you doing? I'm Nathaniel.
My name's Amy Williams and I'm here in Vegas to get married to my wonderful fiancé.
Where are you getting married?
We are getting married in the circus. Yeah,
Yes.
in Cirque du Soleil, Zumanity.
Zumanity? Are you so excited?
There literally could not be a more perfect place for us. It combines everything we love, from the aerial, the sexy side of things, the just circus.
We are fitness dance instructors.
We teach aerial fitness. Our studio is kind of like a mini Cirque du Soleil.
I teach street dance. She does a bit of ballet, the aerial side of it. We've got hoops and silks. But we love teaching. We love helping people with injuries.
And to be in Cirque du Soleil, I think, is a lifetime dream of mine. If I don't make it, I shall push our daughter towards those dreams too. Off you go, join the circus. Make Mummy and Daddy proud.
Yeah.
Was that how you met? Performing?
I wanted to try and be cool, and it didn't work out very well, but I did meet this one.
She's still not cool.
Yeah, like 7 years on, I still can't street dance. We met about 8 years ago. I was opening my studio and my best friend had told me that there was these amazing street dance classes run by these two really hot guys and that I should go.
She got the hot guy.
I got the hot guy. No, I did. I walked in and it sounds really, really cheesy, but it was like love at first sight. It was like across the room, like, that's the man I want to be with.
She just looked like the person who I wanted to spend my life with. Don't cry.
No.
But yeah.
Our daughter's here with us in Vegas.
She is so excited for this. So excited.
She's been wanting to see her mummy and daddy get married for a long time.
Okay, well, you guys are all set.
Thank you so much.
Hi, darling. How are you? Lovely. Are you excited?
So excited.
Nathaniel, good to see you. Oh, your entourage is here.
This is
So
everyone.
introduce me, who's who?
Okay, this is our beautiful daughter.
Oh, the little pretty one.
Annalita. This is my mum,
Hello,
Susan.
Mum. Hello.
This is my dad,
Dad.
Stephen.
Hello.
And
And
best
my
friend.
Best friend, Karen.
So tell me, what sort of silhouette do you think you're looking for?
I think I'm going to be drawn to a bit more flamboyant.
Sparkle. Want something...
Different.
Mum, what are you feeling?
I would like something tight-fitting on the top, but then perhaps a little bit more flowing, just slightly.
Best friend, darling, what do you think?
Definitely something lacy and lovely and tight at the top, and then just go for it.
She wants you to go all the way.
So what sort of price point are we looking at?
£1,700.
£1,700. That's $2,500, am I
Yes.
right? Something like that?
Yeah.
That's a good budget. You shouldn't be here.
No. No.
Traditionally.
No.
So I know you're a very glamorous couple, but
Yes.
I've got to send you
I don't
off.
want to see it. No,
No, I
Why
don't.
don't you go down the strip and party and off you go?
Cheers.
So you excited, darling?
They kick him out.
We got to go shopping. Let's go.
Wedding in Vegas is, I wouldn't have expected anything less. It sums up their lifestyle and their personalities.
It's the size of this that I really adore.
I mean, this is an entrance maker if ever there was one, right?
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
Look at this.
This one just...
Isn't that fab?
I just adore all the sparkles on this one.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see what she's going to come out in.
Wow, that is stunning.
I put on this ball gown and it's so sparkly and so Vegas and so special. I really feel like a bride.
Here comes the bride.
Oh, we're getting there.
Wow.
Oh, look, it's sparkly underneath. Wow.
Oh, I just feel like an absolute princess in this. It sparkles from head to toe and you don't even have to move and it's sparkly. Oh, don't
It's
So beautiful.
it's so lovely.
It's so beautiful.
It looks like someone's thrown glitter over it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you like, isn't it? It's gorgeous.
I really want to wear it.
It's the first time I've ever seen Amy in a wedding dress. Yeah, it is quite emotional.
It really sort of hit home that we're finally getting married. It's finally going to happen.
Do you want to try on any more gowns?
Yeah.
We've got more to try on that I'm still tempted by.
Okay.
There's been quite a few dresses that have caught my eye. I've been really taken by one that I've seen.
Hayley, back to the dressing room.
Let's go.
Oh.
Oh, no. I knew it.
I knew it. Oh
I
my
knew
God.
it. Oh, dear.
This is big.
Now we've got a problem.
Oh, we got tears.
I know.
We got tears already. My lord.
I feel amazing in this. It's just perfect and it's so big. I love just how it fits so beautifully at the way and then it just goes out. And it's the biggest, poofiest dress ever.
It's
it.
absolutely adorable.
I really thought you were all going to say the other sparkly
No.
one and I really adore this one.
I did prefer the other one.
I'm just really surprised.
We have a dilemma here. Dad loves the glitz. So where are we going?
Which really worries me because I know Nat loves the glitz.
Yeah.
And so I think his opinion is going to
Yeah.
be closest to Nat's opinion. A little bit sad that Dad didn't like it quite as much as the other one, but I appreciate his honesty. But I've fallen in love with this dress.
I love it. I can see why her dad likes the other one. And I think Nathaniel might like the other one.
That's the only
Because he
thing
is a
that-
glitter-free.
Yeah.
Nathaniel would like a lot of sparkle and a lot of bling on that, but I think at the end of the day, it's Amy's choice.
I prefer this.
Do you?
It's absolutely amazing.
Amazing, is it?
I think the way you move in it is beautiful.
I feel and
There you
it's
go.
like it's still a massive statement dress, even though it's not as sparkly as the other one. I think it still makes a huge statement. It was everything I dreamed of.
You fall in passion in love with it, but are you passionate in love with the price?
How much is it?
Hayley?
So this is a Pronovius gown. This one is $16.17.
Oh, so we're still in budget. £1,700.
Hello?
It was, yes.
See? We're under budget.
Yes, so we're still under budget.
Is this a veil moment?
Can we try? Can we try a
darling,
veil?
Long, and
Cathedral,
wide.
just like that.
Cathedral.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look.
It's so lovely.
You ready? Have a look over the... Look,
Oh my goodness.
look.
I can't believe how much you made me cry today.
Amy, darling, are you going to say yes to the dress?
I'm going to say yes to the dress.
Congratulations.
Absolutely amazing. Daddy would like the dress.
I think this is the perfect dress. I definitely think when Nathaniel sees me walk in this dress, he will cry.
I love you.
I love it. Okay, who voted for dress number 1? You did. Carl did. Who voted for number 2? I like number 1. But, oh, yeah. So, what we love about this is that it's like a big ad for Las Vegas that's showing in the UK particularly. We don't, again, they haven't given us information about where else it's going to show. They're talking about doing it in the US market as well, but it's just like a great big ad, and I love it, and I think that this makes people see what we really are about, and as we get more of these, I think it's just going to be great for us. I already talked about that. So Hitched in Vegas will start next year, hopefully, air next year. So we're also going to do the State of the Wedding Industry again. It's on January 27th at the Bootlegger Copper Room, the same place, 6 o'clock. Please attend. If there's information that you would like to know about that we don't usually present, just let me know so that I can try to get it. I know that last year we got comments about the data was old, but the reason the data is old is because that's the most up-to-date data that's available. So I was really thrilled because last year when we did the national CDC data, we had it up to 2016. Usually it's like 5 years late, so it was only 1 year late. We may not get anything past 16 at the end of this year. I mean, they just take a long time to get things done, especially national data. So if there's anything that you want to know or that you would like to share, let me know as we're putting together our presentation right now. So please let me know. It will be $15 for Las Vegas Wedding Industry Chamber members, Las Vegas Wedding Chamber of Commerce members, and $20 for non-members. And again, I really encourage you to join the Las Vegas Wedding Chamber of Commerce. It's a public-private partnership with the clerk's office to promote Las Vegas as a wedding destination. And one of the main complaints that we had when I started office is that it was really difficult to find goods and services, wedding goods and services. Because if you do Las Vegas weddings, we have a business, it's called Vegas Weddings, so they get the bulk of that traffic. And we don't really have anything that shows a directory of other services. I love Las Vegas or Vegas Weddings, so I'm not criticizing them, but there's a lot more out there than just one business. So if you want to be part of the directory, then you need to join the chamber and then really join and get active so that you can help rebuild our industry. Because as a group, we have a lot of resources, financial, people, business, brain, so I need your help if we really want to turn these numbers around. Legislative updates as everyone knows, the legislature is going to meet next year. Things like the vow renewal that we got through the last one came from this organization, this group, and so I would appreciate if there's things that you want to see in the legislature, let me know. That doesn't mean we're going to get them, but that means that at least I know. And I work with the clerks throughout the state, so we usually put our bills through the Clerks Association, so I need to get them on board. It's a long-term process, but that doesn't mean that we don't listen to what you guys want to hear about. So BDR1 is the only one that I know that someone submitted that has to do with marriage, and they want to raise the minimum age of marriage to, I think, at least 18. I haven't had a chance to talk to them and find out exactly what their reasoning is, but I do think that they have some reasons, and they are adamant about moving forward on that. If we have a position, we would want to know what the position is. The Clerks Association tech fee, as we talked about, being able to even do things like make sure that the Marriage License Bureau is open during county outages or county internet outages costs money. And we have had a very difficult time getting enough funding to do the things that need to be done and the things that we want to get done. So my priority, and I know the clerks across the state's priority, is to get some tech fee funding for the clerk's office so that we can upgrade when we need to. If we want to move from Harris to another system at some point, if Harris, as you know, we had to, we shut down the system that we were using and moved to a claim a couple years ago because they weren't supporting the old system anymore. Those things all cost money, and we don't want it to impact the services that we're able to provide for you guys, so we want to get the funding ahead of time so that we can budget for these things that we know are going to be coming up. One of the things that we would really like some tech fee funding for is we would like to be able, and this won't happen even in a year, but we would like to be able for you guys to be able to go online, log in, and have the marriage certificate and the papers available right there so that you can fill them out, scan them in, and then file them electronically with our office. I think that would make a lot of the glitches go away. It would reduce the time for you guys, and it would be a better accountability for us as well on marriage certificates. So that's one of the things that we would like to get done if we had the funding to do it. So that in particular, I would really appreciate you guys' feedback on, and if that's something that's a priority, and whether this is something that you guys would support. Any comments?
Question: are you going to do that kind of like similar to how with attorneys filing with justice court, district court, if they do it online, the attorneys have to pay a minimal filing fee?
We really would like this on, so could you say it again with Paula giving you the mic, because otherwise it doesn't go on the tape.
So my question was, are you going to do that similar to how the attorneys do it, where when they file anything online with the justice courts or district courts, they have a minimal filing fee that they have to pay, so that way it'll help basically do the tech, assist with the tech fee and everything like that. So would there be a filing fee that officiants would have to pay to be able to do that electronically? Is basically my question.
I haven't looked at anyone else's because we don't have the money yet. So our proposal for the tech fee would be a $5 put on every document that's filed. So it wouldn't be specifically when you file it electronically, because we would already have the funding, so we wouldn't need to add an additional fee for electronic filing. Okay. It would be on all the documents that are already filed with the clerk's office, obviously. Any other comments? I think we have one. Did you want to? Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh, don't do that. You buy things that way. At an auction, you would have just lost $1 million. The other thing that we've had an issue with, I don't know that you guys have as much direct contact with this, but we found that with ICE and prisons, it's very hard for people to get ID. And I heard on state of Nevada, one of the bills that someone is proposing would be to have better ID for prisoners so that they could get jobs after they get out, some of those kinds of things. But I do think that we actually have a vested interest in this ourselves. I'm reaching out to them to see what exactly they're talking about and see if this is something that we would also support. But obviously having valid ID is something that's critical to our industry, and we want to make sure that anyone that's allowed to get married has the resources and the physical documents that they need so that we can issue marriage licenses as long as it's legal. Any questions or comments about that up here?
Would that tie into the prison people, the prisoners or whatever, being able to vote, or just to get married?
It wouldn't change any voting laws, but it would be, and it wouldn't be just to get married. I mean, this is something that is coming from the prison system, so I would like to tie it into the wedding industry and tell them our stories. It wouldn't be a voter ID. I mean, it would be a legal ID. if the law changed so that prisoners could vote, then it would be a legal ID, I assume. But that's, again, not my field, so I wouldn't want to make any statements on that. But that wouldn't change the voter ID law at all. But it would provide ID. So ideas that we have planned for 2019 are new ideas, I guess, that we have planned for 2019 include, and I'm just going to kind of pass this around so you guys can just glance at this. This is a document that we've been working on for decades probably, and Paula has really been working on it the last couple of years, and this is celebrity weddings, because we do know that when celebrities get married here in Las Vegas, it adds to the excitement about us, and it generates business. So we have about 250 names. The first celebrity wedding that we know about was John Gilbert. Who knows who John Gilbert was? He was a silent film star. So I think the wedding was in 1928. Yeah, and he was one of the biggest silent film stars in the era. So it probably brought other people. I don't know, but what we've found is that we don't know everybody that got married, because really this is compiled because somebody goes, oh, that guy is a celebrity, they're an actor. We don't know all the new actors, so if the clerks that are there don't recognize the person, they often don't get noted. But you guys often know who the celebrities are as well. Excuse me. And this list is pretty much comprised of movie stars and athletes. Probably not as many athletes as there are, but like Merriweather, someone that's really notable. And I'm not saying this happened, but if Einstein got married here, he's a notable, but he's not a movie star, right? So scientists, Nobel Prize winners, are there other people that you guys married or that your facility married that maybe aren't on that list? So what I'm again asking you is, this will be available online. It's kind of hard for you to see it. It's very tiny print. But look at your resources, and especially going forward, make sure that if there's somebody that's a celebrity from any politician or a scientist or I don't know, whatever, that's notable, or if the witness is notable. I know we've had Steven Spielberg came because his sister was getting married, so her name wouldn't pop up because she wasn't notable, but the witness was very notable. So those are the kinds of things that it's fun. And then what Paula has been doing is on our social media, looking at those, especially if they're still married, sending out tweets that congratulate them on anniversaries. So before, I just forgot her name, the redhead, Viva Las Vegas. Anne Margaret. Before Anne Margaret's husband died last year, they had celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary, and they got married here in Vegas. And so let's promote those kinds of things and remind people that not everybody that comes here to get married gets divorced the next day. A lot of these are very long-term marriages. Michael Caine is on our list. He's still married to his bride of 60 years now. Kirk Douglas is married to the same woman. So there's a lot of people that have very long-term. Paul Newman and Joanne Woodward, if you know who those were, they were married until he passed away a few years ago. So it's not just the quickie marriage that nobody really wants to remember. It's also, very long relationships. And again, that's something that we also want to promote. And with that, that's why we want to do more on vow renewals. We want to really promote that. I know that a lot of you do a lot of vow renewals. Who would say, and this is just a really informal survey, who would say that 10% or more of your business is vow renewals? Raise your hand if at least 10% are vow renewals. Nobody. Just one. So what would you say your percentage is of vow renewals? Just 1 second.
So to say if we did about 10 ceremonies scheduled today, about 7 of them are going to be vow renewals.
And where are you with?
Little Vegas Chapel.
Okay. Anyone else that does a large number of vow renewals? No, mostly original weddings, okay. We don't have a way to track that right now, and that's why I'd appreciate you guys helping me get information on some of these kinds of things. Particularly those that do a lot of vow renewals. You know, are they just the couple? Do they, again, go back to her. Are they just the couple? Do they bring family and friends? Do they spend more? Do they spend less? Like, what is their...
It depends. So a lot of our couples that do vow renewals, they make it like a family affair. So they'll bring in their kids, their grandkids, all that. They typically spend about average. We spend more, or couples that get married spend more, but our vow renewals, they're there to just have fun, celebrate with their kids. We actually celebrated one, it was a 65-year vow renewal, and their great-grandkids surprised them at the wedding chapel. So it's a lot of fun. It's really one of our more fun ceremonies, and romantic ceremonies are vow renewals.
And make sure that when we do this launch on December 3rd, that if you have people that you know are doing vow renewals, we'd really appreciate giving Ashley all your contact information so we can specifically reach out to you. Anybody that does a lot of vow renewals or has a good vow renewal story, please contact my office and let us know what it is ahead of time so that we can help, tell that story. So at the Candlelight, we're talking with the county. So the Candlelight Chapel is one of our oldest chapels, and it is now stored at the County Museum on Boulder Highway in Henderson. Has anyone been out there? What?
I live right by it.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's the museum is charming. It has all these historic buildings, and the Candlelight is one of them. But there's all these historic homes, and it's a beautiful facility. It's shady, it's green, it's really nice. But one of the things that they've been doing, I think on a little bit more haphazard way, is they have a book of celebrity weddings or any wedding at the Candlelight. And so one of the concepts that we're thinking of for next year is potentially to put out a press release saying, if you were married in Las Vegas, and we haven't decided exactly, if you were married in Las Vegas or if you were married at the Candlelight, send us a copy of your wedding certificate and some pictures, and we'll put you in the county museum. And Mark Hall Patton is interested in doing this. He thinks it's a great idea. It's a way to promote one of our core historical industries, because weddings are a really integral part of Las Vegas history, and it creates participation from people all over the world. I mean, we are approaching our, is it 5 million? Yeah, we're approaching our 5 millionth wedding license issued in Las Vegas, probably in the next couple of years. So that means that there's millions of people out there that got married in Las Vegas, and we know that a lot of them are still married. And so what we're thinking is maybe even have a day or a couple days where we do a celebration out at the Clark County Museum and do like a mass vow renewal for anybody that wants to show up, so that again we can promote vow renewals and promote the idea that these are long-term weddings. I went out and talked to again Mark Hall Patton a couple weeks ago, and they had the 50th anniversary of the Candlelight. They had a little ceremony. He said they had 700 people show up. They had no idea this number of people would show up, and almost all of them got married at the Candlelight, and that's why they had showed up. And it was completely unexpected to have that kind of a volume. So I think there's an interest, and to kind of validate that a Las Vegas wedding is a romantic long-term commitment. It's not just something that you do and then forget the next day. So we're kind of throwing that idea around, and if you again want to be part of that, let me know. Do you have that down here?
Along with your last comment, I'm a minister, so I get calls from a lot of people wanting to know if I know a particular denomination. I have a lady who lives across the street from me who helps people from all over the world when they come to Las Vegas, just to help them in whatever their needs might be. And she will call me and say, do you know an Episcopalian person, or do you know a Presbyterian person, or do you know a Baptist person? And because I have a lot of affiliation with ministers in Las Vegas, I can usually say, well, yes, yes, but frequently the church-affiliated ministers have very strict rules about they need to talk to the couple, they need to have some counseling and that sort of thing. So there is a need somewhere. Even if you look on the state list, it doesn't tell you who the people are, what affiliation they have. So I don't know if there's any way that you could put a little bit more sacred into the list, because the people who are coming here from all over the world, they have promised their parents or their relatives, oh yes, we will stay within our church tradition. And then they can't find anybody, or at least not in the timeline that they are dealing with. So, because I'm Native American, I deal a lot with Native American funerals as well as weddings. But, we have over 600 different tribes, and each tribe has its own way of doing funerals and weddings. So what I do with that, I will call, a particular tribe and their council and say, will you allow me to do this ceremony or celebration? And if you will you tell me what to do? And they're very good about sharing what you do and how you do it. And maybe if some of the churches would allow someone to stand in for them if they can't have their minister do it, just do a wedding ceremony along the lines of what they might do.
So we're not real happy with the Officiants database on the Secretary of State site. We are responsible for maintaining it. So we have been talking with the Secretary of State's office for a few years, and this has not gotten to the priority point for them, but I'm hoping that hopefully in this transition, I talked to Barbara Sagaski like a month ago about let's get this done before you get all involved in the next legislative session. One of the things that we had wanted to include would be like a religious affiliation, like if you can do Native American weddings, or Jewish weddings, or Muslim weddings, or whatever. That's not currently available, and we would probably reach out to you guys to update your information. That's not required on the information that's required from the state. I don't think that we want to require it from you guys either, but that doesn't mean that if we can get the database changed a little bit, that was one of the things we wanted to add, just a column to help people that are looking. We know that people are looking for that, and we can't really recommend anybody. That's the problem. So we do know that there's a need for that, and we're hoping that we need to follow up on that again, Carl, because we need to get that done. And we have been talking to him for a couple of years. It's just always something comes as a higher priority from the Secretary of State's office. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Good morning, Miss Lynn. I'm Michael Willis, no relationship to the most notable Bruce Willis.
I claim every Goya, so I think you should claim them.
Good.
Unless they can prove it otherwise.
We're from that place down under. It's about 3 days on horseback to get here from Laughlin. But we're here today, and we have a few questions with respect to our location. And I don't know if you can answer them right now, but something to put on the board to discuss. The days that we are open, I know we've been talking about that. We don't know what the final decision is yet, but we were thinking about changing that. Do you have anything right now to tell us about that?
No, why don't the Laughlin people stay after the meeting, and we can talk about that in more detail, because
not appropriate at this time. Okay.
Well, yeah, everybody doesn't care, and plus it's not an answer, it's a discussion.
A discussion. Second thing is this, we were talking about allowing us to record our weddings in Laughlin. That's really something that's kind of a necessity, because I have 3 guys here. We have 100% attendance, by the way, from Laughlin. So we have 3 guys here, and we got to ride horses up here to record our weddings. And what we'd like to do is record them down there in Laughlin. So just we can talk. I guess we can talk after.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
So historical about. The only important date that we know of 2019 is like 9/9/19. Last year, see my hair keeps coming down. Last year, Paula kind of tracked what people said were the big days, and they were pretty accurate. If you guys know some good days, big days that we're expecting, we can kind of do some mini promotions around it. Please let me know so that we can. Oops, I don't know what happened there. And then we're looking for additional ideas. Obviously, we aren't unlimited in our resources at all, but if you have some great promotional ideas, now's a good time to throw them out there, see if see if they'll stick, see if we can get some support. And the more that we can get your help doing things, the more things that we can do. So any ideas, promotional ideas or something else?
First of all, congratulations on 4 more years.
Thank you.
Yes, please.
Thank you.
Regarding the comment about the religious affiliations, and another thing would be language affiliations, those who speak different languages. Maybe the Las Vegas Wedding Chamber of Commerce can put a asterisk behind the member's name as far as religious associations and or languages. So would that help that young lady? Okay, there you go. There's our idea.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I do hope that the Las Vegas Wedding Chamber of Commerce becomes a bigger resource over time and a bigger directory, so that, because I do think that's one of the main things that we're missing. And so if you guys can help build that, because that is then a directory of organizations that we know and individuals that we know follow the law, that they're not really pop up and they're going to disappear as soon as they take your money. So that's very important to us, because we have gotten complaints about somebody stealing your images and putting up a website and taking somebody's money and then they're gone. So this is a way to make sure that we are referring to legitimate businesses that want to be in this industry and that know what they're doing. I think that's a great idea. Speaking of which, we have an intern. Cynthia, do you want to stand up for a second? So this is our first intern, and she is from China, and one of the things that she's been doing is translating a lot of our stuff into Chinese so that people can read it in Chinese, get the instructions in Chinese, and those are the kinds of things that will help us going forward. So this is our first effort on that, and we're really excited to have you. And I know it's been difficult because I've been in and out over the last couple of months, but we're very excited to have her, and we think she's going to be a great resource, and we think that will be a great resource. One of the things that we're also doing is reaching out to people within other communities and saying, how can we help you build a business bringing couples here? So there's a lot to do. And those are the kinds of things that I think will help move us forward, because this is an international business here. We are an international destination, and the more we can promote that, the better for everybody. And I do think your idea is important, and I do think getting the languages involved is good as well. Any other ideas before we move on? Think about it. You'll have one more chance. So 2019 Officiant meetings, obviously we post these, we send out information, but just for your own calendars, it takes a while to schedule this room, so that's why we do it ahead of time. And this is the quarterly meetings for next year. Please make sure that people know about it, and if you find them of value, get people to come, because the more we can get participation, again, the more we can start turning around the industry. You don't have to copy it now, because we will post this on our website as well. And that's my presentation. Any comments, questions, anything that you want to talk about aside from Laughlin? But let's just stay afterwards. Any Paula or Ashley? This lady right here.
Go right after this class.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't have an Officiant ID card and needs to get their picture taken, we are doing them right outside the door here.
This will be the last meeting where we're going to bring all that stuff. If you please, how many have Officiant ID cards? Most do. Anybody that isn't Officiant that doesn't? Okay, you can get yours today, but if anybody asks, they can also send in a passport size photo, or it can be digital, passport size photo, and then we can issue the ID. Anybody that has is an Officiant already. So with that, I thank you for, over here we have another comment or question.
This is just to add to the same idea that we're all talking about, that searchable database. Like when you go on there, it doesn't have a phone number, email address for any of the officiants, which makes it tough. I'm out in Henderson, and we're more of a venue location. We're not 24/7, so I get a lot of requests for a Baptist minister, and I find these people and I don't know how to get a hold of them. So if we could add to that when we're doing that, some sort of contact information that we can
We will have
access
to ask the Secretary of State's office whether, and see if we added that, then your information is all published and public. So I don't know that everyone would like to do that.
Make it an option, but just to have that option would be nice.
I think that's something that that would be valuable, actually. Because really, what's the point?
Right.
I mean, why is a list that you can't get a hold of anybody? Kind of what's the point? So I think we need to kind of talk through with the Secretary of State's office too, like why are we publishing this database? And if it's so that it's usable, then let's make it usable. So, I mean, otherwise, what's it for? Any other comments or questions or ideas or, over here again, Ashley.
Is the vow renewal certificate or application different from the normal application?
It is. I didn't put it up there. It's a lot briefer. All we ask is their name, how many years they've been married. I think that's pretty much it because it's not a legal document. So we don't take parents' names and all those kinds of things.
Okay, and that's available online?
The form will be available online to download, or we'll have them in the office.
Okay, thank you.
I'd like to make a suggestion on the design of the ID card. I wanted to put mine onto a lanyard. I have this cute Brighton thing. Well, when you stamp it, it goes through the name. So maybe the design of the name come lower so that there is some room at the top for those of us who want to make it so that you can attach it to a lanyard.
Oh. Okay, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, why don't you show that too?
It's a little plastic sleeve thing. You put a lanyard on, you don't have to go through the card. Yeah, but I wanted something classier. I didn't want a plastic sleeve. I wanted I'm sorry, isn't a bright blue thing?
Do you have your card already?
I do.
Yeah, if you want, we could probably just do that one card. It'd be easier. We can reissue you a card with it lower if you'd like that. So are people asking you for the ID? Are you using these ID cards? Give me a little feedback on what's your experience been so far. Paula, just.
2 or 3 half-assed.
But yeah. Otherwise,
I've had 2 or 3 recently ask for a license, the minister license, so I do send them a photocopy of the ID card.
Good. Any other? Feedback on the Officiant ID cards? How many have gone through the Officiant training class? Yeah. The Officiant training class. So we started at the beginning of January 2018. That if you want to become an Officiant, you have a mandatory class that goes through all of the legal requirements, none of the religious requirements, because I do believe that that's, not appropriate for the state. We are the state, so I want to keep it to the legal requirements. But have you found that helpful? Is there any feedback on those, on how we could improve the class? Anything? No? Okay. Anything else you guys want to talk about? Go ahead.
I can find out. I just want to know when these classes were.
All the classes are listed online, and anyone's welcome to attend if you want to. You aren't required if you already have your Officiant's license, but if you're welcome to attend, we do get 1 or 2 people a class typically that already have their license and just want to kind of go through all of the laws and regulations. And so they're available online, and we do them twice a month. And one's in the morning and one's in the afternoon. So you can just sign up. We do ask you to sign up because we don't hold them in here. We hold them at the Pueblo room that a number of you guys have been to, so it's a lot smaller. So just sign up and you're welcome to attend. Anyone is welcome to attend.
So to go along with helping promote the weddings and everything like that, the main reason why I became an officiant, I'm also a notary, so I was able to be able to marry people through notary. But I did it because the bar that I frequent is a cosplay bar. So there are a lot of individuals internationally that actually like to come to this bar. And so the owner is actually from France. Oh. And this is the first cosplay bar that he's heard of.
Cosplay?
Cosplay. It's basically dressing up as like characters from your favorite movie, from your favorite animes, all that. So what he's trying to do is he's got an area that we call the gallery, and a lot of artists use that to promote their artwork. But he also uses that for the ceremony place. So that's one thing that he's wanting to do, is help promote Vegas and the fact that everybody likes to get married in Vegas. And we've actually had our first official cosplay wedding. It was a few months ago. We actually had 2 of my friends, actually. One dressed up as Black Widow, the other one dressed up as Hawkeye, married by Captain America. So it was actually a really, really cool wedding. And that was the whole concept, is that he wants to promote not only the fun and exciting part of Vegas, but the fun and exciting part of cosplaying. And so I'm actually going to get with him here shortly and talk to him about seeing if he can help use your services to help promote that concept, because it helps build on your ideas of wanting to get away from the drunken Elvis, as you said, which I agree, get away from that idea, but also promote the fun, loving, and just exciting way to get married in Vegas. So
yeah, and anyone that wants to get more involved in that aspect of it, I would appreciate you letting me know, because we need everybody to, like I said, everybody to get involved. This isn't something like a gift that I'm going to do for you. It's something that we have to do together. It's not something that I can do by myself, or the wedding chamber can do by itself, or the LVCDA can do by itself. It's something that we all need to do together. Anything else? Well, my swearing in is at 11 today. Anyone that wants to attend is welcome to attend in these chambers, and thank you for coming. Look forward to working with you the next 4 years.
Thank you.